And my audio is on, right? Nice. Okay. And we're off. It is Thursday, September 14th, 2020, AD 2023, Anno Domini, the year of our Lord 2023. Supposed to say that first. Hat tip to the lady who told me so. I knew it sounded right too. I kind of like the sound of it wrong, but we're gonna have a fun show, guys. I believe we can do it. Gonna talk about those black gals. Black gals. Mother Earth is a black woman. You know how they try to say the God is a black woman. Oh, I gotta get I'll get that in a second. And there, you know how those black women over in London, UK area were causing a ruckus and fighting with the people and all that mess? Oh, Lord. They're protesting shamelessly like they weren't wrong. Crazy. Blaming white people. No whites involved, by the way. It was funny. So I have a clip follow-up from yesterday's story about those black females over in UK, all British sounding voices, So there's that. Of course, your calls if you'd like to call in. So it's fantasy of the black woman is God and everybody's scared of her. Well, they are scared. And then the reality of them being unreasonable and silly and incompetent thinkers. The spoiled auto union update. Auto union may go on strike after midnight tonight, tomorrow, whatever. And yes, the PA murderer was indeed reportedly an illegal alien. Reportedly. All right? Even according to the failing, evil, far-left extremist, anti-American New York Slimes. So, okay? And some other things. All right? So, anyway, guys, let's get right on with the show!
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La, la, la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La, la, la.
Hey, guys!
Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La, la, la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La, la, la.
So, how you guys doing? I am fine. I'm wearing another Henley, but I cannot celebrate with Hassan today. He's away, all right? But Hassan taught me about Henleys. Oh, we have this camera again. Nice. I say nice because I can see the center of the camera reflection. I can see this. I can center my... assuming that this button is in the middle, I can put that button reflection in the middle of this glass of this camera and see that I'm centered. I think. Nice. And it's orange, and it's 100% cotton, and one button's unbuttoned because Hake is casual. And it's not even Friday. So, hope you all are well. I won't tell you where I bought this shirt. We've covered that many a time. Looking good, Samson. Why, thank you, Delilah. Samson was Israelite. That's me. Delilah was a Philistine. That's Sion. Funny. Okay. Let's dive right in. Pardon me. Oh! Okay, so I have this screenshot. I don't have the clip. Ron, I've been calling him Ron Filipkowski all this time, but it's Ron Filipkowski. So Trump on Bruce Jenner on Megyn Kelly's show, I don't have the clip. Maybe I do have American Anchor maybe at the board. Maybe I can get him to read this in Trump voice. Ron Filipkowski, he's a far-left liberal, editor-in-chief of Midas Touch, co-host of blah, 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 attorney Marine, former federal and state prosecutor, Republican Party, insane asylum escapee. He used to be a Republican. Now and by the way, he's not a Christian, I don't think. Not a normal white, this Ron Filipkowski guy. Filipkowski, not Flip. He's a flipper, though, a flip-flopper. And so he shares this little 16-second video of Trump saying, I think it's Trump. I don't think it's AI. Trump, I knew Caitlyn as Bruce. I knew Bruce. A very handsome person. A very handsome guy. And all of a sudden, Bruce is Caitlyn. And he's talking to Megyn Kelly, who's also anti-trans. But Trump is not anti-trans. He loves the transgenders. And all Christians, all true Christians like Trump, all real men like Trump, love even the transgenders and love even their enemies. Right? We love our enemies if we love anybody. But he's also not going to forsake reality and the truth and his own mind as God gave him. God lent him, you know? All of a sudden, Bruce is Caitlyn. Call me Kate. Caitlyn. Don't fall for it, kids. He's still him. How about that? He really changed his legal name to Caitlyn. That's why Ben Shapiro, who respects the law, quote unquote, will call him Caitlyn. I will not do that. I won't say what I will not do, but I don't do that at this point. Surprising he risked talking to Megyn after what happened to AJ. Oh, Alex Jones. Yeah, that's right. She tried to do a takedown. She's on Sirius XM Radio, The Megyn Kelly Show, Megyn. Do you want to do your Trump impression on this?
I actually got you the clip.
Oh, nice.
I could try.
All right.
I'm going to bet that he's going to end it. I'm going to bet that the clip is going to end off with him saying, and all of a sudden, Bruce is Caitlyn. I'm going to guess that it's something like that.
All right. Let's hear it then.
I knew Caitlyn as Bruce. I knew Bruce, and Bruce was a great athlete and a very handsome person, very handsome guy. And all of a sudden, Bruce is Caitlyn. I said, what's this all about? This was a brand new subject, too.
I think you nailed that pretty well.
Yeah. I gave it way more oomph than I thought he did. But,
right.
But yeah. He does that thing where he's like, and all of a sudden, Caitlyn, like he just adds it in at the end, right. Strong.
So that's American Anchor Baby. Catch American Anchor Baby at noon, Monday through Friday, noon Pacific. No, Monday through Thursday.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah. Nice. American Anchor Baby on YouTube and Rumble. Nice. Sweet. Thank you, Nick. That's the Anchor Baby. He's the former... Were you ever the board operator for JLP?
I think
Interim?
I think some interim stuff happened there.
Yeah.
And I just... Because I was here quite a bit, if I remember.
Yeah.
In between Hassan and Joel.
Right. Like you partly trained Hassan.
Yep. Exactly.
Okay. Nice. Trump in the studio? Yeah. Trump is in the studio on the Hake Report. So, sweet. Right on our greatest president, Donald J. Trump. Speaking of fantasy, I noticed that I start off my segments with speaking of, and then at the end I'll be like, well, that's that, or something. I forget what I say at the end. Clip 42. Oh, gosh. Okay, so this is like 3 minutes long almost. And it's a 5-minute clip. I think I saw part of it on American Anchor Baby, right? Tim_Cook tweeted this out. Not a normal, fully morally straight person. But he's kind of older. And, so I still have... I respect everybody. He tweeted this out. And it's so funny. At Apple, we believe that climate change. Oh, show this Mother Earth screenshot of his tweet. At Apple, we believe that climate change is one of the world's most urgent priorities. And look at them urgently getting ready in this skit. It's a skit video. It's a skit. Urgent priorities, and we are deeply committed to doing our part. Today, we have a special guest, a real force of nature. Stop by to check on our progress. Okay, so here's the clip. I cut it down from 5+ minutes to 2 minutes and 48 seconds. I had it down even smaller, but I wanted to include this part where she gets sassy with a black male who's explaining carbon neutrality, something that I don't understand. I wanted to hear the black man, but she interrupted him and said, "You can explain this to me. I'm Mother Nature." So here's this real force of nature, and the Apple people all scurrying about, all faint of heart and nervous and people-pleasing and phony. And it may not even be real Apple people. They may just be actors, plus this Tim Cook. And at the end, he does like a stare down with her, like he doesn't break and say, get all nervous and break when she's trying to scrutinize him whether he's telling the truth. You know how Jack Bauer would look at people in the TV show called 24? He would look at people, see whether they're lying and look in their face, because he was a Fed, right? But one of the good ones, purportedly. And that's what she's doing to him, and he wins. He goes the distance with her. He doesn't beat her, but she's like, all right, I guess you're not lying. You're not bogus speeching me, BS. Don't get nervous, people. So here's the clip, 42. Hopefully I have it. Go. Oh, here comes Mother Nature. It's rumbling.
I hope we didn't keep you waiting.
And her gay assistant.
Mother Nature, welcome to Apple. How was the weather getting in?
This is my third corporate responsibility gig today, so who wants to disappoint me first? In 2020, you...
To reduce our impact on the planet. But there's still a lot more work to do.
I want to see you do more of this.
You will.
When?
There is so much programming in this one ad, says Nick. Yeah, so Nick, you covered this, didn't you?
Barely. I'm actually glad you had the stuff to like the anti-cringe suit on or something to handle this, because
I enjoy it.
I should have gone through the fire like that man in the JLP show said.
Yeah.
To get through it and try and describe the programming in this one ad, but I'm glad you're doing it.
It's funny how most of those people in there were fat.
Yeah.
She clowned the purportedly white man, not a normal white.
The dinosaur with the leather jacket.
Yeah, because we're getting rid of the leather from our cases.
Yeah.
Why do you have a case? Why do you have a case on this thing? It's nice. I paid for this logo.
Some of us destroy their phones, though.
Yeah, I know. True. You just hold it tight when you're jogging.
Okay.
Or whatever.
I'll try.
Or leave it at home. Don't bring it don't take the phone into the bathroom with you. It's actually good to be away from your phone.
Yeah. Don't pick it up so much.
Don't be next to that Wi-Fi or whatever it is. 5G. Yeah, crazy.
And then the ones that impressed her were like the light-skinned, fat, curly woman.
Yeah, the fellow black woman.
Right. Yeah.
She's like, And then the portly young black man was explaining the thing. You're really going to explain carbon neutrality to me?
Yeah, he's still a man. He's still a man, though.
Yeah, true. And I guess it wasn't fair to call her assistant gay, but he was slightly effeminate, we'll call him. He didn't seem very masculine, you know?
I think we can agree on that.
Yeah, it was. Do you think the staff really looks like that? Maybe. I remember all the staff on that viral picture of Huffington Post staff. Was it Huffington Post? Where it's a bunch of all like purportedly white women, maybe not normal white, and then maybe like an Asian woman in there. No POCs. Nice. And Huffington Post is far left extremist. Smash Mother Nature. No. Slightly? Yes. I said slightly. I like to say things sort of understated. Yeah, I watched the whole clip. I don't know. Have you seen the whole clip?
I did watch the whole thing afterwards.
Yeah, because I
I watched a good
it.
3 minutes of it on my show, I think.
I watched the whole thing yesterday because Cernovich tweeted out, and I turned on notifications again for Cernovich, so that I don't only rely on CNN and occasionally go to TKR Official, the crypto report, Asmodee's show, and the JLP show for news. I saw him tweet that what's his name, Tim Cook, gets up at 4 in the morning, right? And he goes to the gym at 5 in the morning every day and works out for an average of 50 minutes according to his Apple fitness calculator or whatever. And so Cernovich says he despises all these obese people who are in this video. He's just doing this for show. And Apple is completely different. True. Well, I don't know if he looks down on. Well, he might because he did announce publicly, shamelessly. Somebody in the chat of Anchor Baby's show, that he made this whole statement that he's not morally straight. I vaguely remember that too.
Me too, a little bit. But I think you're right. I mean, whoever's saying looking down on, if I'm following the vibe correctly, you have to if you promote it. If you're going to put all these fat people around you like, this is okay and good.
Right. Yeah.
It is kind of looking down.
He's going along. It is. It's because you feel sorry for them.
Exactly.
You're kissing up to them. There was I was reading the replies, and somebody said it's funny because he put a racist stereotype of an angry black woman or a black woman with attitude, sort of fat black woman with attitude, when they're doing this thing that's promoting climate friendly, earth friendly stuff. There was a reply from Cernovich to him saying, "Stop using child labor for your cobalt." Cobalt is used, according to, I think, Base America First in my super chats, for this electric stuff, car batteries or computer chips or something. Cobalt's a cool color, blue. And then somebody tweeted in response to Cernovich, in reply to this video that Tim Cook tweeted out. He's the new CEO. He replaced Steve Jobs, who died. They also have suicide nets. So child labor for cobalt. I support child labor. I labored a little bit as a child. Maybe not as much as these child laborers did, but I did some work. $3 an hour, $2, whatever, which is pretty good, actually. I think we should get rid of minimum wage so that the value of money goes up again, maybe. But, show the B, Mother Earth, or 2, something like that. I never saw the suicide nets, but this is purportedly suicide nets. You know, when you get so stressed out assembling the iPhones, who would want to assemble this? You kidding me? Kill myself. Just kidding. I disavow that completely.
They don't already have robots to do all that?
I know, right. No, they need little Asian hands.
Yeah, we still need little brown hands. Like,
yeah. Like the Nazis used children to assemble things because their fingers could go into the barrels of the guns or whatever needed to happen.
Patriots.
Yeah.
Children.
Do you see that picture of the...
I'm seeing... Which picture?
I think it's Mother Nature 2, something like that. Let's see.
Oh, so it's not a clip. My bad.
Right. It's a picture of the suicide nets on these buildings. I expected them to be kind of like higher up. Maybe they are higher up. That looks fairly close to the ground, but some light poles are quite tall.
I see it now. Here, I got it.
Nice. Look at that. They jump out the window and kill themselves. So they put these nets out, and you have to be able to jump really far in order to clear those nets. But you shouldn't be doing that. Stop committing suicide. Stop it. And I'll say it right to the camera. Stop it. It's ridiculous. Suicide prevention nets outside of the assembly facility. ESG. Environmental, social governance. kissing up to evil. A phone without the case is crazy. Hey, I do put the phone on when I go to the beach. I mean, the case on it when I go to the beach. Nice. Okay. So that's fantasy. That's fantasy. Here's reality. This is reality. These black women living a fantasy. I guess it's still fantasy. Here's yesterday's clips, 35A and B. 35A, I played that gal who I am yes, you are no tweeted. She shoplifted and got caught. More and more people are completely fed up with them. Who's them? Who do you mean them? And are taking matters into their own hands. A little bit, 30-second clip or so. Hit it. A, yeah, A. He has one of these gals. She's hitting them with the basket. Breaks the basket. And now she has the basket handle. And stuff. Call the police. She's the alleged criminal. Put his what? I don't understand your English. Whoa. And there's the alarm outside of such and such repair or hair and cosmetics. So here's part B, just a rehash of yesterday's clips, because I have a little update. And I actually saw this yesterday, but I didn't realize it was from the same story. And I guess this is 2 more black gals. And I don't know if it's the same story. I guess it might be. Here's 2 more black gals, like Africans or whatever, fighting with the East Asians or West Asians? South Asians? Southeast Asians? I don't know. The India people and their neighboring countries that don't seem all that Asian to me, but I guess so. Here it is. Look at them fighting and cussing and kicking. One of them is mildly attractive. Call police. Look at her. She can't fight. I think there's 3 gals. 3 black gals. Whoa, he tossed her to the floor. Stop fighting. Inter-POC violence in a white country. See, there's a 3rd gal. I didn't even notice that 3rd one. So that's 4 misbehaving gals fighting. It's ridiculous. Asian Dawn 4 tweeted, this happened in London, UK. The woman allegedly, the first one I showed you, allegedly stole items and began to claim that she was returning them. Yeah, they lie when they get caught. Or they'll say something that you don't know what the truth is. So here's clip 41. I am yes, you are no tweeted. Even though there are no white people involved, these opportunists, there's this black woman on a bullhorn, and then she hands it to another black woman on a bullhorn. Oh, I didn't put it in there, I guess. Okay, let me see. Okay, I think I have it. Hopefully I have it. Oh, man, hopefully I have it. Please be there. Yes, I will put it in the folder now. This is Hake not being prepared. It's a 2-minute and 20-second video. Even though there are no white people involved, these opportunists continue to point fingers at white people, claiming it's an example of white supremacy. It's still copying, I think. There is no fixing this. And Dave Atherton 20 is the man who tweeted out the source video saying, you may have seen the Only Fools and Horses Peckham beauty shop. Peckham is in England, where Asian Mo boy, whoa, what's that? Asian Mo boy stops a woman from exiting the shop. Apparently, she wanted a refund and took things and was stopped leaving. Meanwhile, Rent-A-Mob turns up spouting white supremacy and black systematic killing. So here's the clip. And I don't know if that's related to both of those prior clips or just the one with the gal who broke the basket on the man trying to hit him when he was grabbing her from behind. Here it is.
Black women, you're here, right? Yeah! You know how we're usually told, angry black woman, angry black woman. Today, I don't know if you ever felt that you needed the permission to be angry, but I'm asking you today, are you angry?
Yes!
I can't hear you. Are you angry?
Yes!
Yes, and we have every right to be angry because we're always told that beauty is pain. You know, pretty hurts. When we look at the system, and what black women have been through the centuries in order to navigate a white supremacist society, we have died at the hands of beauty. And so when we saw that black woman yesterday with this store owner's hands across her throat, that is a reminder to us of the ways in which they symbolically, as well as literally, hold their hands to our throats. They do not want us to breathe, whether it's a black man, whether it's a black woman. They don't want us to breathe because when we can breathe, we can imagine. And when we can imagine a system different to this one, where we're giving our money constantly to people who hate us. Right? Even if we think about the products, we keep saying, oh yeah, we should go to black-owned stores, and of course we should. But even the actual products, they're giving us fibroids. They're giving us cancer. Right? So we have to restructure the whole industry as a whole.
Come on!
An industry that's taking billions from us every single year and is systemically trying to kill us at the same time. Right? So I'm asking you again, everybody, not just the black women, are you angry?
Yes!
I didn't hear you. Are you angry?
Yes!
She has strong arms.
After today, we remain angry. We don't run from the anger. We use the anger constructively to create a system that will serve us better. But this shop can't see us again. Are we in agreement that this shop, Peckham Hair and Cosmetics, cannot see us again?
No, they cannot.
I'm going to hand over to my good sis and Gossip.
Here's another gal.
Coward.
Let me first address the coward. I know you can hear me.
Yes.
Yes? I know you can hear me. Big man like you. How powerful are you?
Crazy women, huh? Sorry if that clip was a touch quiet. I tried to get it right. I try my best. I always do my best. Then how come you fail? I said that yesterday. That was a line from a Bruce Lee movie. But I always do my best. Then how come you fail? Nice. Are you angry? That gal had some pretty good arms. The coward in there. Evil women, huh? Supporting anger and communism. Those were a bunch of communist dog whistles. Oh, use your anger constructively. Anger is always a solution for them, right? And rebuild the system. They take billions from us. You don't have billions. That clip was clipping, Hake, says it's the real Mr. Mad. It was clipping, meaning it was loud? Blasting? I don't like clipping clips. I don't like clips when the audio was clipping. Are you serious? It's the real Mr. Mad? The strangle imagery, masterful communist propaganda, says Nick. Yeah, true. Yeah, Nick, help me out here. This gal.
Someone, she might just be a little mad that she's got all that stuff on her head.
I know.
Like that last one.
Oh, yeah, true.
But that imagery, strangled, like the way they strangled that girl, because they don't want black men and women to breathe.
Right.
It's just...
then we can imagine.
Weaving it all together that way.
Right.
Not making a pun here.
A knee on his neck.
Exactly. So it's, I guess, a global, like a worldwide imagery. You could just, copy and paste anywhere now.
Just victimhood everywhere. Phony victimhood. She's all identified. No, I'm not serious. Hake, everything I say is a joke. It's the real Mr. Mad says. No, I don't believe you, Mr. Mad. Not everything you say is a joke. She got testosterone-fueled biceps. Yeah, I did hear from Lin Yen Chin that black women do have higher than other women of testosterone. She was mildly attractive. She reminded me of that other black gal from the UK who got shot by a fellow black, sort of. The one who was racially abusing a black man who was not for Black Lives Matter, and she was. She was a black nationalist, and she got shot by a fellow black. But they tried to pretend that it was whites who shot her because she's such a black radical, hating whitey people.
I remember that somewhat. But, you know, speaking of other blacks, though, she's saying, like, oh, we got to just stick to black-owned businesses or something like that.
Yeah.
But black business owners are wary of other blacks. Like,
right.
They know they know, they understand the plight of the...
They don't get along. It's terrible. Yeah, it's ridiculous. And it's always women leading. Women running these shows, and then effeminate, kiss-up, phony politician-like males who are leading these lame-o protests. Rarely do you see a Chad woke bae like Hamza is not that. He's communist, but he's sort of, you know, the communist Hamza whom I debated about slavery and communism versus communism on trial. He was sounding like Donald Trump the whole time because he was just being a wolf in sheep's clothing for communism. Oh, everyone should have their own stuff. That's not what communism is about. Or that guy, who's that guy from Young Turks?
Hassan
Piker with one S. He's lacking an S. You don't see him leading anything. I mean, he gets a lot of views and stuff, right? But he's not very masculine.
A lot of women like Hassan Piker.
Yeah. I mean, he has some physically masculine traits, but when you hear him talk, it's all woman and phony outrage. When you heard him on the Fallen State, bits that I heard on there were, as I recall, it was like, oh my gosh, a blind brainwashed liberal, thinking not manly. Terrible. So anyway, you guys can call in. Oh, I know how I end my segments, with a groan. Or something like that. Terrible. 888-77-JESSE. We are on Jesse Lee Peterson's network. Let's see. Oh, no. Wait. Does that work?
No, the other way. There you go. A little more, if you really wanted to get it. Bingo.
Okay. WJLP.
88.
Before because we switched out the camera. There was a slight bit more of this showing. Yep. So on the other camera, we were able to see the other thing. We have a different camera because we're doing a Fallen State taping today. Nice. Exciting.
It's also, you're never going to see it. On that screen, it's cut off.
Right,
so I see the whole thing here.
Yeah, okay, nice. Yeah, I can see it over here too.
Oh, good.
Because of the cropping on this thing. A little inside baseball if you are hip and savvy. Okay. Yeah, I'm on JLP's network. It's 888-77-JESSE. I used to think, oh, this is the Hake Report. I can't say 888-77-JESSE, Jesse. But we're on Jesse Lee Peterson's network. So we can say it, which is 888-775-3773. Put a 1 in front of it if you're using Skype and dialing in from overseas. It's free via Skype from overseas. William is in California on the line. William, thanks for calling, man. How you doing?
What's going on, my man?
Not much. 005 checking in with 003.
That's right. That's right.
Joel Friday's
Your
body
mission
type.
Of the day.
Joel Friday's body type, not fat William. Fit William.
Hey, man, shout out to the men in the chat, man. There's more men in that chat room that protect the ladies, because there's a difference between a lady and a female. And what you were just looking at right there, I'm going to tell you, it's been a while since I've been over there, and I'm going to tell you about England.
You've been to England?
Yeah.
Sweet.
I think that's the Brexit area. You got some people in the chat, they know that area. I've seen some of the most hugest buildings. I thought they, from a distance, looked like nice apartment complexes. The girl that I was over there visiting, she said, William, these are projects.
Wow.
I'm like, what? Oh. She said,
meaning free subsidized housing.
About changing a system. They're talking about changing a system that's socialist.
Yeah.
You got less chances over there to change that system than you do over here. And the girls over there are starting to mimic the black girls over here. The black girls over there are starting to mimic the black girls over here.
Yeah, because those aren't American black women. Those are like I guess, Africans who are westernized, meaning not in the good way.
They have a lot of Jamaican.
Okay, that makes sense.
Haitian. They got in African countries. There's some cutie pies over there, bro.
Of course.
And they were so soft spoken when I was there. Now they're starting to act like the ones over here.
Oh,
That's
mannish and worrying their pretty little heads about politics like they know what they're talking about. They don't know. They're living in a fantasy. A fantasy of, we're the victims.
It's not good. It's not good to mimic these girls over here.
Yeah.
It's not good. But speaking of girls and young ladies, shout out to Hassan yesterday's show. He had his girlfriend on.
Wow, Hassan.
And she was a lady. I mean, we had a topic. I spoke about it, and then she responded like a lady. And I mean, there are women that are double her age that wouldn't respond the way she did. Shout out to that young lady, Hassan. Congratulations. She's beautiful. And she's a lady.
Yeah.
And she's a winner. She seems like a winner. I think I'd hold on to that. And you're a baller, a basketball player. You know about that. You know about that winning. So, Hassan, shout out to you. And the other shows. Every show was good yesterday.
Cool.
I got a notification last night, speaking to black girls, what's wrong with the blacks. I got a notification last night late. I didn't look at the whole story, but there was a active shooter again on a college campus, Chapel Hill. That's the Tar Heels, North Carolina.
Okay.
And they shut the campus down for a couple hours. I think somebody had a gun. And
again?
They showed the picture.
Wasn't that sort of
UNC?
Was that UNC Chapel Hill with the Asian student on Asian teacher?
Yeah. They had that, but they got a black girl that did something yesterday evening. I didn't want to read the whole story because they're in the news every day. People get to moaning and groaning about why we're talking about the black hail. They're in the news every doggone day.
Right. And it's not just, and the news likes to downplay this stuff. The news is not totally honest about this stuff, but still they get in. They can't hide it completely.
I give a shout out to the ladies. They got some ladies in the chat, and they are ladies. I look and I see it. They're ladies.
Yeah.
None of that jibby. No, they're ladies. I mean, I see it. It's there.
Yeah.
And I'm optimistic. I know we're going to get our country back. We're going to get this thing together.
You think so? Huh?
I think so, man. And I'm going to tell you something. Men, real men, they have no problem with their ladies walking on the side of them. It's the females. And I'm the one that will do it. If you're just a female and you're disrespectful to men, you gonna walk behind me.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna give you a shot at this thing that you wanted to ask me that you keep forgetting.
Pam Grier.
What about her?
I forget what his question. Let's see. I have it here. Can you do me a favor?
Thing?
Ask William how he feels about Pam Grier, asks Gregatron with the super chat from last Friday. I'm sure he knows her. She played Foxy Brown in the 70s, Jackie Brown in the 90s. I thought she was stunning.
She's
black.
A lot of movies. Yeah, she's got quite the resume.
Yeah.
Pam Grier is absolutely drop-dead gorgeous. She's approaching 70 years old, and she looks better than some of your 60 and 50-year-olds.
Yeah.
She's not mildly attractive. She's extremely attractive. She wasn't my heartthrob. I can tell you who. Everybody's got a heartthrob.
Uh-huh.
My heartthrob was Dorothy Dandridge. Google that picture, and you'll look and see.
Funny.
My taste.
All right.
And we are going to be all right. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I got chased around in the chat yesterday. Frederica changed his screen name about 3 or 4 times after I blocked him because I said, you're a loser and I don't need to be responding to you. If you want to describe William, there's a song called Numa, and it's by a group called Tool. I am me. I am an individual. I don't do what blacks do. I do what I do. And I do things that some blacks don't get a chance to do. And that's the way I keep myself. I keep myself up. I keep my home up. I do my thing. And people like to want to box you into thinking the way they think. Oh, he doesn't like his own people. No, that's not it. I'm embarrassed by you. I'm embarrassed.
I got you, man.
Because there is no white man. James, there's never been a white man to stop William from doing anything.
Right on. Of course. That's how it is normally. Thanks,
Ask
man.
David and Ocala about it. He knows about Numa. He knows about the group Tool. You know, I'm an individual, brother.
Right.
And I'm not a good black man. I'm a good man.
Nice. But no man is good.
Well, you kind of get what I'm getting at. Is that
I do. Are you
don't
Christian,
put me in
William?
the category.
I forget. Are you Christian?
Catholic.
Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. I'm forgot.
Catholic.
I knew that. You told me that a few times. All right.
St. Ignatius. But see, St. Ignatius is actually Jesuit up here in San Francisco.
That's Catholic too, though, right? Jesuit is Catholic.
Kind of like, yeah. St. Ignatius, that's actually Jesuit, but I'm a Catholic.
All right.
Catholic school boy. But we are individuals, and we have the power to think for our own selves. We don't need to be following something. See, this is where the blacks that don't like me, I feel like this. I'm honored. I'm honored because that's what they do to Trump. He's different. He thinks for himself, and he don't care what you think. And that's the way I am. You know, I'm just honored. You don't like it, makes me think, hey, you must be doing something right, Will.
Well, I appreciate it, Will. I got to keep it moving. Take care, man.
Keep it moving, brother.
All right. William in California. Who said this? Somebody in the chat. I'm a white boy. I liked Farrah Fawcett, says Skeletor over in Odyssey, odyssey.com/@ the Hake Report. I am streaming on multiple platforms, guys. Kick.com/the Hake Report, rumble.com/the Hake Report, Odyssey, odyssey.com/@ the Hake Report. Of course, YouTube. Of course, DLive. Facebook crew. What's up, Facebook crew? The Hake Report on Facebook. Bond is on Facebook, too. And even Twitch and X, formerly known as Twitter, with 0 people watching, allegedly. Sometimes, actually, people are watching and it says 0 still. But that's fine. Okay, I have time for one more story, at least, before the beautiful music break. Tomorrow is the first day of Hispanic Heritage Month. They start in the middle of the month. Anyway, let's talk about these spoiled unions maybe going on strike. Are they spoiled, or am I just making up stuff? Not read in Hake News. I mentioned this in Hake News. CNN's report is kind of lame and boring, and I read it in Hake News. I was like, this is kind of lame and boring, no details. The far-left ladies at the Skim, this far-left female-run outlet, the Skim, reported today, all eyes, fake news already, all eyes are on the United Auto Workers strike. That's not true. You guys never even heard of it until Hake mentioned it, and your eyes are still not on it. Or are they? Your spiritual eyes. Anyway, the union represents nearly 150,000 workers, misrepresents many of them. I bet you some of those people who actually work for the automakers do not agree with this evil union, but they're stuck. They don't have the right to work without being so-called unionized. At U.S. car plants, they're asking for 36% wage increases across 4 years. Wow. The elimination of wage tiers, meaning this person gets this type of work, gets this type of this amount, this amount, this gets this amount lower, whatever. What, so they all get the same pay? I don't understand. Maybe, but I'm not going to look into it either because I don't care that much. And a 4-day work week. They want a 4-day work week. Lame. Week. What is this? What is this union run by women? Spitting. As quiet as EVs, electric vehicles, are on the road, It could be the reason for this loud mess, says the ladies at the Skim. They're so clever. The transition to don't say transition, it's a dirty word now, to EVs, electric vehicles, is on its way as automakers are currently pouring billions of dollars because of the government pressure, right? It's all political pressure. It's not actual naturally happening. Billions of dollars into making electric vehicles and getting them out on the roads. GM, Ford, Stellantis, which, whoever heard of Stellantis? Only people who know cars at all better than Hake, which is most people probably. Jeep, Dodge, owned by Stellantis. Or is it Stellantis? Or is it Stellantis? Say the cost of going green limits how much they can offer their workers. Oh, okay. Interesting. The union doesn't agree. Of course. They point to the CEO's big paydays and record revenues. One expert says if the companies sign off on a wage increase, it could fall on consumers and push electric vehicle prices up. Who knows what EV is? It doesn't even sound like anything. General car costs aren't expected to increase by much. That's right, because they already increased because of the China virus and the mess with the, what do they call that? You know how they messed the supply chains up with the communist overreaction, commie capitalist overreaction and shutdowns and all that mess and restrictions. As for the United States, a 10-day strike could cost the economy $5 billion. Fine with me. I don't know. The cost of cars and electric vehicles has remained high, say the ladies at the Skim, thanks to the China virus. Hey, they said it. They agree with me. I knew what I was talking about, kind of. The China virus, they call it COVID-19 supply chain issues. No, it was the overreaction to the China virus that caused the supply chain issues. Battery costs. Batteries are the most expensive part on the car. And that little word, inflation. Biden inflation. Which is a fallout from the overreaction to the China virus, I think, right? Partly. And also, I don't know, stupid things like the self-destructive riots around the country by the evil communists and the supporting of crime by the evil commie capitalists and the fake kissing up to feminism with two income households being seemingly necessary in some people's imaginations, most people's imaginations. The auto union is looking to join the likes of actors, and other unions, Marvel artists maybe even, to get a bigger slice of the pie. Greedy unions. They talk about the greedy corporations, and they are, many of them. I see the golden JLP mic and the golden Hake mic. Nice. Hat tip to John. I wonder if he was a union worker. Or maybe he's on his own now. Nice. He's independent. Ridiculous. Shameful. What else was there to say about this? I felt like there might have been something. I don't know. We definitely should get rid of the unions, get rid of minimum wage, get rid of the most of the government. I saw this. Oh, side note. Speaking of greed and selfishness and evil, I saw this tweet from about Vivek Ramaswamy. This is one of the things that he says that I like. I don't like him. No, I like him. No, I don't like him. Vivek, ABC News, far-left extremist, banned Hake from their article comments section, which is to say they used to use discuss. ABC News tweeted, Republican presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy, who says that we should have an identity as a nation. But he's Indian. You should be over in the UK manhandling those black ladies, Vivek. Would he manhandle them or would he get manhandled by them? It says that he wants to cut the federal workforce by 75%. Nice. Nice. I agree. So I like his voice being in there a little bit. In part by dismantling the government, says ABC News. See, I like it when Republican extremists or right-wing extremists, which he's not, but when they say something to get it in people's minds, like Trump would say things that were what actually should be done, but then he knows that he's going to have to work with people and he's not going to get done what should be done, but it will be in the direction of what's right. Same thing with this. Cut the federal workforce by 75%. Maybe he should have said 90. But 75 sounds reasonable, you know, because the federal government is huge. So-called workforce. More like employee force, because they're not all working. You know, these cushy government jobs, and they fail, and they stay paid anyway. Did those guys get fired who were supposed to be on the job when Epstein killed himself, allegedly? Which he did, I believe. Maybe he didn't. I don't know. But did they get fired? Because that 18-year veteran prison guard in PA, he got fired when that illegal alien Brazilian murderer reported murder, whom I'll get to after this break. When he slipped through their fingers, he got fired, and he worked there 18 years. He got fired. He had a cell phone in the tower or whatever. You weren't supposed to have a cell phone in there. That's against policy. Estamos en el norte. We can do what we want. No, estamos en el norte is, we can spend money. Easy come, easy go. Right on. We should be dismantling part of a bunch of the government, of course. It's evil. Look, DOJ, have they done anything good? I don't think so. So-called civil rights, I mean, I get in part they're doing the child trafficking thing. I guess you can do that. Get rid of the Civil Rights Division, get rid of which is part of the hate crimes thing and all that stuff. Get rid of, I don't know though, we need better people. Because we have a whole culture in the hiring fields of commie capitalism and government that punishes independent thinkers. It discriminates against independent thinkers. Look at Joel. He didn't get hired, and he's an independent thinker on some level, you know, and he's a decent person, a man. He doesn't think black, and he's okay with the feminists. He gets along with them, but he doesn't think all feminist. Joel Friday TV on Tuesdays. And the LAPD wouldn't hire him. Can you believe it? Because he was too honest. He's better off that way, I think. All works out. All things work out for the good of those who love him. God makes all things work together for the good of those who love him. So do not fret about the evil in the world. But I think that that's a fair statement by Vivek Ramaswamy, if I'm pronouncing his name correctly. Guys, we're approaching the top of the hour. It's time to play some beautiful music. I know I lose viewers, but that's okay. It's okay. It's not always about viewers. This is my favorite song. One of my favorite songs ever. This is Okay. It's better than Okay. No, it's the one-man band Okay, which is Marty Anderson. He has like Crohn's disease or something, so his voice sounds like my grandma, my late grandma, when she was alive. Kind of, sort of, a little bit soft and light, high-pitched and weak. And this song is called Pretend. Men's History Month is over. You don't have to pretend to be a man anymore. No, you never had to pretend. But this is from the 2008 album, Huggable Dust. Oh, come on, Marty Anderson. You sound like a liberal. He is a musician. But he's suffered, and he says some things that are kind of true, kind of like that homeless-looking person in that clip at the beginning of the second hour of JLP show, saying stuff that's true. Can appreciate that. So here is Pretend by OK and Hat Tip to Evil is Real. Evil is Still Real, who also likes OK. He and I are the only ones. I'll be right back for hour 2. Hang tight. Isn't it nice? Hake loves mediocrity. This is pleasant. Hake listens to these songs backwards. Christian Macy Gray? Macy Gray. So nice. The music separates the wheat from the chaff. Nice. Right on. Well, thank you guys for bearing with me through the beautiful music. I got some super chats to read. I have some super chats to read. Do not use get, got, or a lot. Over on D Live, Greenwall asks, what is the Son of Man whom Jesus talks about? He is the Son of Man. I don't know why he called himself that. Hake, there's no way you were a Christian punk listening to this mess. I listened to this after my heaviest punk phase. It's from Absolutely Kosher Records. This song is very nice, Hake. Thank you, Falconing. Or Falconing. Sweetie music. Oh, Lord, this is not good. Terrible. No, it's good. It's great. And I like the message, too. Over on Rumble, Evil is Still Real says, I was explaining to my Cambodian girlfriend. Oh, she's Cambodian now. Was she always Cambodian, or did I misremember her being as Filipina? I was explaining to my Cambodian girlfriend, he separated it, so it's female friend maybe, the concept of, oh no, burn the coal and you will pay the toll, which has to do with interracial dating and interracial beating. She laughed and said, date a black guy and you will get a black eye. Hey, Asian chicks are based, he says. Whatever, man. But thank you, Evil is Still Real. Did you hear my, I did a little brief segment, reading a couple of replies during your call, after your call, a few days after your call. Anyway, whatever. Nice. over on buymeacoffee.com/The Hake Report. You're not actually buying me a coffee. I mean, it's $3 per super chat, right? And so you could buy a coffee with $3, but you're not necessarily buying me a actual full-blown coffee. It's a super chat system. Nesio bought a coffee. It's not enough to be secure, but men also need approval, right? Agree? Yes. God's approval. Nice. Right? Sort of? Or no? Thank you, Nesio. Riley JM bought a coffee. That black gal with the strong arms could probably beat me up. She looks strong. I know. Nice, Riley JM. I mean, I don't know if you're stronger or if you have better technique or finesse or can get away from her or whatever you need to do. But, whew, right on. She could be using those arms for good rather than for holding bullhorns like she needs a bullhorn. Although she did come across pretty quiet. The crowd was all loud compared to her. I had to raise her thing up, her volume up. She was talking to the bullhorn maybe away from the camera, that's why. Whew, terrible. That gal. Misguided people, just so caught up in stuff that doesn't even matter. Isn't that human nature? Can't you relate to that? Getting all busy with some mess that you don't even need to be involved in, and the evil people around you validate what you're about, thinking, oh yeah, that's a good thing to get involved in. And so you get even more deeply involved in that, or you get some feeling or thrill like JLP's been talking about, all for the thrill of it. It's ever since church this past Sunday and throughout the week on this radio show. They don't even necessarily need other people's approval, as Renesio mentioned. They just get Satan's approval from within. Terrible. This is so bad. Skeletor says, what? Base Asian chick? Every time I see an Asian chick, they have a mask on. I know, they don't want the Western germs. So let's talk about that illegal alien. How about that? According to reports, yes, the murderer was an illegal alien, Brazilian. I have some screenshots from the failing New York Slimes. The Pennsylvania, there he is, look at him. 5'2", 120 pounds. That number sticks in my mind. According to NBC News, he's 5'2", or is 5'2", 120 pounds. The Pennsylvania fugitive, they call him. Why wasn't he deported? Asks the New York Slimes. And they call him an undocumented. He is not undocumented. That's a terrible lie. He is fraudulently documented. The fact that you're writing about him, he's documented. Silly. And sometimes they have fake social security numbers and social security cards and I-9s. I-9 is work permit. I think federal or something like that. So you can blame all these people for all these bosses for hiring them, but they have I-9s, so they have plausible deniability. Blame the government for giving them fraudulent stuff, or go to MacArthur Park over here, which used to be beautiful. Now it's ugly, and you can get your fake IDs there, I heard. Undocumented immigrants. You're already fake news, New York Slimes. Accused of minor crimes are often sent back to their homelands. Danilo Cavalcante, who is not Spanish, he's Portuguese. Because Brazilian, right? All Brazilians speak Portuguese. Am I right or wrong? Who escaped from the United States prison, has been facing a murder charge in Brazil. That's the big nuts. Which, I guess they're okay. They're not that exciting, but food isn't supposed to be that exciting. And it's an article by this Miriam Jordan woman out September 9th, 2023 AD, 5 days ago. Hake news is late news. Evil woman propagandist, by the way. I think she may have done a fake outrage story. She writes about immigration for the Times. The slimes, that is. Hat tip to Mark Levin. She may have done a fake outrage story on Trump, by the way. I'll get to that. And illegal children. Okay, so she's at an unknown time, at an unknown location, Danilo Sousa Cavalcante, 34-year-old citizen of Brazil, entered the United States unlawfully without being inspected or admitted by a U.S. immigration official, per DHS, Department of so-called Homeland Security, established by George W. Bush after 9/11, I think, and the evil Republicans and demon rats, probably. Sometime after that, April 2021, prosecutors said he fatally stabbed his Brazilian girlfriend, in front of her children. Were they his children too? I don't know. I don't think so, because she had multiple children, and he'd been dating her 2 years, which is in time for multiple children if you're popping out children right away. But I don't know. In PA, Pennsylvania. So Brazilian on Brazilian crime in PA. You do the math. Kind of like the Indians versus the blacks in UK, London. Second time he was accused of a horrific, so he was convicted of murder, sentenced to life in prison. Second time accused of a horrific crime, fleeing 2017 murder charge in Brazil, entered the United States. And that escape from the county prison in PA, I've mentioned this before, on August 31st. He's the second man to escape that county prison in PA. Like the other guy crab walked up the narrow hallway too. Did you know that? That's what I heard on News Nation, up and coming mainstream media outlet News Nation, which employs Leland Vittert, Chris Cuomo, people like that. I think it's Chris, right? Colossal manhunt, blah, 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 blah. Host of questions. Why wasn't he deported after his arrest? Because we wanted to make sure that he paid for his evil crime. Was his girlfriend or ex-girlfriend or whatever she was, stabbed her dozens of times, at least 24 times, maybe like 30, 32 times, I forget. Evil, crazy, psycho. He doesn't look like he would do anything. Actually, I don't know. Look at him. What? He looks like he belongs on the cover of Rolling Stone, like that, like the Tsarnaev brother. You know, the surviving Tsarnaev brother? Look, he look like a pop star, or he has this long hair, like, coming down in front of his face. He's 34 years old. He shouldn't have his hair like that. Stylish. So stylish. The cops caught him. Oh, the dog bit him. Yoda bit him because he was sleeping on top of a rifle that he stole. He's a survivor, man. He might have crossed the Darien Gap like so many of the illegal aliens are doing from South America to Central America or wherever. I don't even know. Panama. To come up towards America and Canada. Look at him. Okay, so let me describe it for the audio podcast listeners. He looks like he has long hair now. Other shots of him, you didn't look like he had long hair at all. But he has it like two of these like locks of hair, I guess you might call it, coming down in front of his eyes. And it almost looks like he has eyeshadow on. And his shirt says, his like hoodie says Eagle or something like that. Man. We should have put him in to work. I don't want to say slavery. So by the way, let me go into this illegal alien murder New York Times thing. Okay, number 3, the case highlights an issue of criminal justice system has long confronted what happens when crimes are committed by undocumented immigrants who who, by the way, studies show are much less likely to commit crimes than U.S.-born citizens. And so, and this woman who's writing this article links to this PNAS? PNAS. My bad. I didn't know that it would come out sounding like that. PNAS. Terrible. She references this article that's compares or put out study thing comparing crime rates between undocumented immigrants. So it's already fake news. Legal immigrants and native-born U.S. citizens, which I put an asterisk about that, and in Texas, PNAS. Note that native-born U.S. citizens means anchor babies, okay? And not just the American anchor baby. Children of illegals, children of immigrants, who frequently, I will have you know, grow up to be criminals and or terrorists, not to mention off the deep end, edu-mama-cated liberals, which is even worse than being a criminal. Maybe. I don't know if it's worse. In some ways, I feel like it's worse than being a criminal, being a liberal. Because you have that mama spirit that enables all of this evil to go on. Just like a single mother raises a bad blank boy to be a bad thug criminal doing all kinds of evil in the world. Oh, we're at danger from men, these liberals say. And most of these men in the prisons were raised by the anger of the mothers and the mama spirit inside of the fathers too. Those aren't men. And it's men who are going to protect you from the evil in the men, evil mama spirit in the men, violence, satanic violence in the men. So anyway, back to this article. Immigrants who are in the country illegally are charged with relatively minor offenses are often sent back to their homelands. How about they're often not sent back to their homelands? They have so many DUIs over here, and they don't always get sent back. I think it's quite common for, they say that DUIs are more common among whites than among blacks per capita. It's the one thing whites excel at in crime is DUIs, drunk driving under the influence, compared to blacks. But I think that might be counting the white Hispanics because the Hispanics do this a lot. I think. My experience with Hispanics, they drink and then drive. Yeah, some of them drive all lento, all slow. Because they don't want to get caught. And they won't go down to San Diego to do a job. Because I've worked with these people, in cabinetry business. And they don't want to go to San Diego. And for some reason, they all don't have licenses, driver licenses. Seem like illegals to me. But for a variety of reasons, those facing serious crimes are most often required to serve their sentences in the United States. Well, I mean, one is obvious, duh. You send them out of the country, they can come right back in, or they don't necessarily go to jail down there, wherever they're from. Serving sentences in foreign prisons for crimes committed in America, they don't care about that necessarily. I heard that American Anchor Baby, I think, said that they're emptying out their prisons and sending them up here. Is that true? Something like that? Oh, yeah. Dang.
Venezuela did.
Wow, Venezuela. Yeah. I heard that Venezuela is kind of crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Valero, is that Venezuelan oil? Mm-hmm. Valero gas stations. Don't go anywhere. I mean, you can go anywhere you want, I guess, because you're going to be supporting evil in some way.
There's like videos of these people. There'll be people at the border documenting this, and some tattooed guy with like MS-13 all over his face is like, yeah, so I love Biden. Thank you for coming in.
Right.
At a neighborhood near you.
Crazy. Probably not from El Salvador, though, with that based young man who's roughly my age. He's the president. He's like rounding them all up en masse and sending them to prison and slavery, hopefully. Slavery so that they do some honest work and be a benefit rather than a drag on society, right? Did U.S. law enforcement know that a fugitive from Brazil was in the United States, wanted ever since 2017? Most likely not. The United States is home to more than 11 million. They're still saying 11 million. Try 20, 30 million. I don't know. I don't even know. That's what the communists do. They don't care about the truth, especially if you can't know it. They're just going to make assertions. And they say more than, so it could be double, triple that. 11 million undocumented immigrants. If they're undocumented, how do you know there's 11 million? It's documented in some way. Stupid. Immigrants. And I looked up the definition, according to the federal government, of immigrant, and it means legally, lawfully here. So that's fake news. You're fake news, evil woman writer for New York Slimes. Most of whom intentionally stay in the shadows and clear of trouble with law enforcement or any contact with U.S. Immigration, Customs, and Enforcement. Oh, okay, so that was fake news when you said their studies show are much less likely to commit crimes than U.S.-born citizens. No, maybe much less likely to get caught or have it documented or whatever, you know? The primary way ICE comes into contact, Immigration and Customs Enforcement. You say shut down, we say ICE. Shut down, ICE. Shut down, ICE. That's a communist woman chant from the Hispanic woman from during 2014, I want to say. I say shut down, you say ICE. Shut down, ICE. And I see these over the freeways, by the way. Shut down, ICE. Pray, Jesus. They come in contact with undocumented immigrants as they have committed crimes. If they have committed crimes, Aaron Reichlin-Melnick, policy director of American Immigration Council in Washington. He was wanted in Brazil with connection with the slaying of a man in his small town of Figueirópolis. I butchered that name. Figueirópolis. I feel like I'm trying to pronounce diminutive. Hey, I think I pronounced it right this time. It feels like it should be diminutive. Even if Brazil had issued an Interpol notice. Ever heard of Interpol? Not the band, not the Joy Division copying band. They're good. I like them. I like that one song. International Police, I don't know, Global Homo Police, notice for calling for his arrest. The United States would have no reason to believe he was living in the United States. Actually, I think it would probably be a safe bet or a safe guess. Start looking. Only after his arrest in connection with the murder of his girlfriend in April 2021 did ICE become aware that he was in the country, the agency said. Which brings me to the question, was he dating a girl older than him? Because they keep on saying she was calling her 33. But if she was murdered in 2021, she would have been 33 in 2021, because there's no use calling her 33 if she's dead. Stop it, stupid. I'm not calling any human being stupid. I'm just calling Siri dumb. Go away! Sorry, my bad. Pardon my strange interlude. He's 34 now. It's 2023, 2022, 2021. So that means that he was like, what, 32-ish? 31-ish? 32-ish? Almost 33? He was younger than the girl he killed, I think. Side note. In front of her children, maybe not his children. Dating a woman with children? Misguided illegal alien from Brazil. I've known some Brazilians, and they're all right. Remember that Brazilian who used to come to church? G the mattress guy. He wouldn't do this. I don't think. A fighter, too, by the way. Alejandro Mayorkas, the Secretary of Homeland Security, directed agents in consideration of several factors in deciding whether to apprehend immigrants. So, yeah, they're trying to act like they're prioritizing. Oh, we're prioritizing, meaning we're looking the other way on a whole bunch of illegals who should be sent back. Number 7, screenshot number 7, which immigrants do federal authorities target? They're not immigrants for deportation. At the bottom of this little section, discretionary authority in deciding who should be removed from the country. They should all be removed. But given limited enforcement resources and the large population of undocumented immigrants, the Biden administration has instructed federal officers to focus on immigrants considered a threat to national security or public safety, who've recently or who recently crossed the border illegally. That's what they like to do. They like to allow these masses to come in, and hopefully they don't cause so much trouble that it's bad PR for them to subvert the population of the country. So sick, huh? And then at the bottom they said, I highlighted this portion that Nick was just showing. A person who committed murder would clearly be a priority for enforcement. They wait until they commit murder. They wait until they commit murder. And then even then, they still... Remember there was an illegal who, Caitlyn Steinley, or Kate Steinley? He killed her. I don't even know if he murdered her, because what motive would he have for murdering her? He had this gun and he shot and it hit her in the head and she died. But why would he kill her? This guy, he looked like all old and lost. And some of the conservatives wanted blood. And Bill O'Reilly wanted Congress to pass Kate's Law or something like that. Send the illegals back because they don't even belong here. Oh, they commit less crimes per capita than citizens. Well, citizens means, like I said, children of immigrants. It includes blacks who artificially up the numbers on our end. Come on, illegals, you can do better. Just kidding. The fugitive sister. This is number 8. The fugitive sister, Eleni Cavalcante, unlawfully in the United States because she overstayed a visa. Processed for deportation after she chose not to assist in authorities in the manhunt. Funny, huh? So who is this woman who's writing this mumbo jumbo, not in clarity, who's pro-illegal and pro-immigrant, anti-white, anti-American, writing for the failing New York Slimes? Miriam Jordan reports from the grassroots perspective on immigrants and their impact on demographics, society, economy in the United States. She covered immigration in the Rhino outlet, The Wall Street Journal, correspondent in Brazil, India, Hong Kong, Israel. This woman, doesn't she look like a Brazilian or something like that? Look at that face. Mildly attractive. Isn't that sort of a foreign face with creases on her brow? She makes her look sort of Hispanic, but last name Jordan for some reason. She speaks Portuguese, Spanish, grew up in Brazil and the United States, speaks Portuguese, Spanish, French, and Hebrew. Apparently not English. No, I'm kidding. She rode a Greyhound bus from Arizona to Tennessee to tell the story of the mass movement of migrant so-called families who crossed the southern border. What? She broke the news about our greatest president, Donald J. Trump, employed illegal aliens at his properties. Like he's going to know or care about that. Ooh, Trump employed illegal aliens at his properties. Like he's going to know or care about that. Like that means that they shouldn't go back. That means that right is not right and wrong is not wrong. Stupid. She covered don't say stupid, kids. Oh yeah, no problem, Sean. Thank you. In Spanish, she's called La Gata, the cleaning lady. Did you know that? La Gata, the cat, the cleaning lady. It's not considered polite, though, so you don't call them that out loud. Only behind her back. She closed the door. Normally, I'm the only host on the JLP network who has the door open, and I like it so that air comes in. But a lot of noise comes in too, so you guys might have heard a lot of noise coming in. People yelling, vacuum running. So they close it to keep it more soundproof, which is how it's supposed to be. So Hake following getting in line, guy. G0Y. She covered an unannounced policy to deport children with life-threatening health conditions that prompted hearings in Congress and ultimately an end to the Trump administration's plan. What? So we're having sickly children coming into the country and we're not deporting them? They don't belong in here. They come in here with their life-threatening and possibly catching meaning contagious, life-threatening health conditions, and we're supposed to take care of them too? Reminds me of those people who say cops are supposed to administer first aid to the people whom they have to shoot or like put their knee on their necks and stuff, which I disavow that, I guess. Yeah, Gata is a female cat. Nick says Brazili Jew. Sean says Jew-zillion. Funny, man. I'm blushing. I disavow these things. We don't notice that. Stop noticing. So that's that. I got to end that segment. We got to get to calls. I spent so much time on that. Indeed, I did. Let's get to Sion in Georgia. Speaking of immigrants and Philistines, what's up, Sion? How you doing? Are you there? Come off of mute, you boomer. Just kidding. She's not a boomer. Sion, are you there? Come off of mute. I think you're pressed mute on me, is my guess. Sion going once. I'm going to send you back to Sean. Sean, he's going to crack the whip on you, Delilah. Sion going twice. Sion's put back on hold. She's not ready. Vicks cures diseases, though, says John Frederick. Yeah, just give them Vicks and send them on their way. I'm chuckling because the chat's so mean. And funny and true. Okay, let me just double check for any more super chats that have come in here. I don't like to miss them. Sion's good to go. Okay, well, all right. Had me on mute. I knew it. I was trying to tell her. Okay, so here's Sion again. Sion in Georgia. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm sorry. I put you on mute.
Did you understand me when I was saying come off of mute? You could hear me, right?
Now I can hear you, yes.
Oh, you couldn't hear me even then?
Yeah. I don't know. For some reason, no reception here, I guess.
Okay. Nice.
How are you?
Fine. Long time no hear.
I know, but I'm a faithful listener. I work a lot,
I know.
But I still listen to you at the end of
right on.
the day.
I know that because I see your chats, I see your supers, I see your comments, and I appreciate them.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yes. I wanted to talk about this immigration.
Yeah.
So anybody could just walk in here, and I see a lot of immigrants. You know, they're willing to work, though. They take whatever job.
Or they're willing to take a job. I don't know if they're willing to work that much, if you know what I mean.
No, not hard, of course.
Right.
Not hard. It's just they show up. They show up.
True.
They want to get paid. They show up. They do a bare minimum, but you see them working.
Yep.
Than the American. American, they don't want to work since the pandemic. Even at the job, they quit right away.
Yeah, that's so true. America's been so subverted and weakened. Are you on speakerphone, by the way?
No.
Okay.
Why?
Because the chat is saying you are, and it sounds kind of like you are.
No, it's the AC running.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Get clear of the AC blowing on you, maybe. Or put your head outside of the AC wind.
Oh, my God. Okay, hold on. Okay, how about?
What?
How about now?
That sounded like you switched something different from the AC.
Wait. Oh, my God, I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead. Wow, she's scamming me, making me blush. Go ahead.
What is the chat saying?
Oh, nothing.
I'm one of them now. I troll now.
I know.
And I say kind of stuff. Yeah.
I know that this immigration thing really chaps your hide, as well as the weakness of the Americans.
Yeah, white people, I don't know what's going on. Because they're giving up positions, like at a hotel. Last time I had an altercation, I was traveling, and I stayed at this hotel. It was all women, the black women. And the secretary was like the desk person. She was a white liberal. and just scared of the black woman. And their rooms isn't clean, and it's supposed to be like a very good stay suite. It's crazy. And they don't clean the American. Mostly, I think, even the immigrants, they don't work, yes. They're probably the ones who didn't clean. So it was crazy. No customer service, attitude,
Right.
Yeah, but the white people, you guys are not really doing anything. It's like I don't know where they are. It's
Right.
the immigrants taking.
She's too loud. Can you turn it down a little more? She's coming in all
What?
piercing my ears. You and William with your loud voices.
Oh, my God.
No, you're fine. You're fine. We're just turning it down on our end. My bag. Okay.
Yeah, I'm loud, too, when I talk.
I'm not surprised to hear you get into altercations, Sion.
Why is that?
Because you seem like you were. Well, a lot of women tend to get into altercations. And
what was I supposed to do? I checked into a room that I assume was clean, right?
Right.
Was it? So I tried to be nice, but she wasn't very polite and customer service.
Right. Yeah.
She had an attitude.
I don't know.
And
I don't know. I wasn't there, so I can't say that you did anything wrong. But you seem like you wouldn't shy away from an altercation.
No, I don't, because I had enough. I used to be like the very quiet one.
Oh yeah. So it's like a slingshot. All that pressure is being released.
Yes. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's like something came out of me. I've been monstrous. Sometimes I get into that mood.
Right.
I don't know why.
I can picture it.
I
some
just
reason.
I don't like injustice.
I can believe it.
I'm a very honest person, and I say what I see and everything else. But the world doesn't like honesty. Just like Donald Trump, he's very open. Jesse's open. He speaks his mind. I'm like that, but also.
But you want to come from a good spirit, regardless of how, because you don't want to just not like injustice. You should have no opinion about it because you'd expect it, really, because injustice and incompetence and corruption is the norm, and it's to be expected, really. But it's not that you let it be. You should oftentimes, or sometimes at least, say something.
Yeah, they provoke
you. You shouldn't be provoked inwardly. Yeah,
I'm trying to keep.
So you don't want to go around. You don't want to go around thinking you're Trump and JLP.
No.
And William from California.
No, then I'm going to end up getting beat up in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I don't want to go to jail, so
True.
I'll just probably let her beat me up and just record the whole situation. Then that way I don't have to be locked up along with her.
True. Yeah, exactly.
So,
yeah, you want to be...
Yeah, in Georgia, it's crazy. It's
be blameless.
Crazy.
Yeah, Georgia is where they're charging Trump. And
I know.
18 or 20 or 21 other people.
Yes, and black people, I'm sorry, they like money, right? We all do,
right.
But we'll do anything for money. So as you can see, everybody who's trying to prosecute him is a paid black, except for that one white guy, right? That one white guy from New York, I forgot. There was the white, is he from California? The white skinny guy. That was also on Trump's back.
Say that again? Who what?
Of prosecuting him or accusing him or something. What was his name? The white guy. The only white guy from all of them.
Oh.
And Alvin Bragg and that ratchet judge or prosecutor, whatever she is. But
I don't remember.
Yeah. Okay. So I was calling about the citizenship. Like, I'm a citizen, so what's the use of us paying buku money, flying here, getting tested, everything else? And these people just walking in, and they get medical assistance. They get everything, housing, and our tax money is raising their children, basically.
Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous. Like you said, the immigrants who come here lawfully, whether they should or not, whether they should be allowed or not, they have to jump through all these hoops, wait for years sometimes, pay all this money, and then these illegals just cross the border or overstay their visa, and then they get all this lenience as long as they don't make the liberals look excessively bad, and even sometimes then they're fine. It's crazy.
It's like they just want this country to be like France or somewhere where there's a bunch of immigrants, and it's just like no quality in this country. Like food.
Yeah, right.
I don't even trust the meat at a nice fancy restaurant no more because it's like there's no quality. You don't know where the meat is coming from. Everything's expensive. They're importing meat now.
Yeah.
It's more bad for you and cancerous. It's like you can't trust anything anymore. America's gone. Jesse's right. America is gone. Every day you see it.
Yeah, that's so true.
Foreigners in Congress, and that's it. It's the end. Do you think they're going to let Donald Trump in?
Possibly. They may not have a choice. I don't know. But even if he gets in, it's still gone. He'll help a lot. He will help a lot, but he's one man, and he does set an example and awakens people. That's cool. He may awaken a few more because he's a light. Jesus said, "You are the light of the world." He said that to his disciples. And so the Christians, the real ones like Trump, are a light. And so that's cool. But you can't put your hope in him or in the country or be distraught that the country's gone or things aren't the way they should be or the way they used to be. Can't let it bother you. Can't be bothered by it inwardly.
Yeah, I'm trying. And,
there is no try. But
who is he gonna run with? Even if they who can he trust? They're all corrupt.
Yeah, you can't even trust Mike Pence, and Mike Pence was Mr.
traitor. Yeah.
he looked like he never talked except when he needed to. And
I know, a quiet Christian. I almost cried when Donald Trump went to his home. Remember when he was in Indiana with his wife? They filmed she brought flowers in the room and everything. You remember? Oh, my dad is going to be so proud of me. He was a nobody. Nobody knew him. Maybe his dad, I don't know.
That's funny.
But he made him relevant, and all of a sudden, he would just turn on him like he's supposed to be a Christian, right? I was crying when literally I was like, oh my God, what a Christian. This is a perfect picture. He's a family man, and Donald Trump, he selected like the best guy,
Right. But no, I think he was a governor of like Indiana or something like that. Pence was, but he was still unknown. I'd never heard of him. I don't keep up with politics all that much. But
yeah, me too. Since Donald Trump came in, though, I started to get involved, but I didn't. Nothing. That was the first time I voted. It was for Trump.
Nice. So you're a legal citizen, huh? That you can vote?
Yes, I can vote, and
nice.
I don't know what I'm going to do now because if I vote, is it going to count? They're going to try to shut it down again and do mailing ballot. And the stupid people are going to fall for it. Nobody's stopping no one. They're not even, I'm willing to go out and protest if someone could just come join me. You know, not one or two people, but a bunch.
I know. That's funny. But protests don't really do much. You know what I mean? Like, unless the establishment is already on your side, then they don't do anything. Because the establishment was already for evil Black Lives Matter and the evil women for the abortions. And the evil fake civil rights, which there's no such thing, and whatever else they've protested over time that they've supported, the attack on guns.
Yeah.
So they're not for the Tea Party. They smeared the Tea Party as racist. They're not for the free speech people or the so-called alt-right that has been divided and conquered. They're not for any of those people who show up for good things. The January 6ers, the mostly peaceful, but in some cases misguided because they were angry, patriots. They're not for any of those. And those were major numbers. who showed up.
Brandon Struck, the gay dude.
Right. Walk away guy. Say again?
Yes, he's amazing. I follow, because they had him as a threat for what is it? The FBI labeled him as some type of
domestic threat or something like that.
Yes.
Ridiculous.
For a guy who went through a lot.
Yep.
But Candace Owens or Brandon Tatum, whatever, they didn't go through the way Brandon Struck went through. He's a real patriot.
Yeah.
And he put those stupid rhinos in their place at what was that meeting that they have just to fucking I cursed.
Sorry, kids. And it came out so smooth. I didn't even notice. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I cursed.
Making me blush.
I used to not, but now it's like I adopted the bad Western culture.
Yeah.
But
Remind me of that Korean lady who cussed with a black guy, talking about it like a black guy. Anyway.
Yeah, so anyway, they just talk, but he actually was out there.
He loves JLP, by the way. He really appreciates JLP.
Yeah, I know. I saw.
That's cool.
And I really like him. You need to have him again, you guys, because he's a real patriot. Brandon Struck. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you, Sion.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
Have a good day.
Bye. And I hung up before the click. Very important. Sorry, kids. She's a lady. Art in Ohio is on the line. I got to get to Art. Art. Too smart. What's up, man?
What's up with you? How you doing?
Doing fine. How about you?
I'm all right.
Good.
So, shout out to the chat and whatnot.
Yeah.
And shout out to my allegedly ex-girlfriend, ARC, the big booty Latino, too, because she's the boss.
I disavow. Sorry, kids.
As her Twitter page would say.
Nice.
So check this out. Remember your old boy, Art, baby, told you, like 3 weeks ago, I was like, people up here thinking that Trump, because Trump keeps saying the narrative and whatnot, and we still rolling with the Donster and whatnot, the Trump baby or whatnot. Remember I told you, I said, even if Trump get in office, Putin and whatnot, and Russia still is going to push the gas pedal and still be at America's neck, meaning we're going to end up having that conflict.
Oh, and, but Trump will know how to handle it better than Biden. Biden is corrupt and incompetent, and Trump has the respect of our enemies, of supposedly our enemies. Our enemies are, he has the respect of our enemies who are the domestic enemies, who are the real, more imminent threat to America. The people in the government and the media and all that.
Yeah.
But are you concerned about Putin?
Well, just going back on to something from, I guess what I'm picking up is this is like the kid in school fighting the other kid, and the other kid might beat the one kid up, the bully might beat the other kid up or whatnot, but as long as the other kid got that good punch in, he respects the bully respects him because he got out there and fight, and the bully don't want to get hit with that punch again,
right?
Or whatnot.
Yeah.
Versus
True.
The kid got you. So just like versus the kid that that won't get out there and fight, basically like a Biden or whatnot. The bully always don't never respect him, always wants to keep coming at him or whatnot.
Yeah.
Got you. So that's
Kevin Howe says Trump and Netanyahu and Putin are pretty close. So if Trump and Netanyahu were in charge, then Putin might not have pulled his attack on Ukraine and be trying to attack Ukraine, partly because Trump and Netanyahu are fellow men who are more reasonable, and they work with people rather than being like women. No, you don't get anything. And then, if you don't get anything, then when I forget you, I'm gonna attack and go crazy. So that's how I see it.
You right. Well, guess what? I guess Putin has released a statement. I don't know when, but it was on somebody's channel.
I saw that. I saw that on Anchor Baby. About what did Putin say about Trump? He said something, and then Kevin Howe's like, Putin is not your friend. He's just saying whatever to weaken the West, which we want the West weakened until Trump gets back and it's strong.
Yeah, he just said that it's that in front of the whole world can see how corrupt what's happening to Trump is.
True. Yep.
Yeah.
And that's a fact. Whether Putin has evil intentions or not, that's the truth. I think everybody knows that they don't care about the truth or justice or the American way.
Yeah. well, you, and that's a good point, because I forgot about that, what y'all sitting there saying or whatnot. That point right there, that goes on to, I even was saying that too, or whatnot. Everybody can see it. Putin can see it. Everybody can see that what's going on. But then I also, just like I was saying, seeing that Putin was saying what I was saying 3 weeks ago. Like, even if he get back in office, Russia's still gonna have their feet on the gas pedal. They still going. That's what Putin was saying. We still going to get that conflict in or whatnot. So I was just going back to say that I told you that it don't matter whether he get Trump. Thinks that if he get back in office, he'll be able to sweep it over, which I don't believe is going to be able to happen. And if it do happen, the only way that's going to happen is because America goes back to its Christian Judeo beliefs, and allegedly Russia claims to be a Christian place too or whatnot. So that's the only way that situation will resolve itself, is by the intervention of Father God coming between it and them getting everything together. But the only way that's going to happen is you gotta remove evil from out of the politics or whatnot. Otherwise, it's going to be a crash course between Russia and America or whatnot. Meaning you gotta basically lock up all these bad politicians and the media. You got to get the media together. You got too many communists on these social platforms, in the media, in the politics, and in these schools or whatnot. So if you ain't able to fix that, then you just like I said, but Russia ain't stopping or whatnot. They definitely ain't.
I'm not all that concerned at this point. I don't see them nuking Los Angeles, or if they do, then I won't really know about it, because I'll probably incinerate before I realize what happened. Hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't want to suffer from like indefinite radiation poisoning or something like that. That'd be terrible.
Yeah.
Not that I'd want to die. I don't know. What a mess. But I really don't. I think that we just got to be a light. Because I don't think that there's rooting out the communists. We tried that with McCarthy, and now they're doing McCarthyism against us worse than McCarthy was against them. So I don't think all this blacklisting and outing, getting rid of the communists is really even the way. It would be nice, but I think that getting rid of the communism from inside of us is much more important than so that our light does shine, rather than hiding it under a bushel.
Well, yeah, I agree with you on that or whatnot, but that's just like cleaning your room. You just don't go in your room and be like, oh, I'm going to sweep and make my bed at the same time. No, you sweep or you make your bed first, then you clean off the dresser. You do one thing at a time or whatnot, and America got to start somewhere and start reversing and fixing stuff that they done messed up, just like this immigration, which they ain't whatever this little immigration thing you were saying about, as far as with that. It's a whole bunch of BS or whatnot.
Bogus speech.
Even if they saying the illegals coming over here, they working and we're working where? McDonald's? Taking away
the jobs from the teenagers. They're taking the jobs from the teens, and now we're hearing about teens attacking people rather than working at Mickey D's.
Facts.
Yeah.
See? Exactly. Oh, you got all these little bad kids out here running around, and typically these are jobs that the teens will be working when they first start in high school, just to get a little high school paycheck. So how are you taking jobs from teenagers and giving them to people who ain't even supposed to be over here? Taking jobs away from American kids. Once again, it just don't make sense or whatnot, let alone America is already bankrupt, and you got already a whole bunch of homeless people over here. So where are you going to insert these people at? Where are they going to be? How are they going to be a help to America when America's already forgot about its own American citizens?
Yeah. Ridiculous.
Yep.
It's a backwards world for sure, man.
Backwards world or whatnot. Then just like you was even saying about it was something you was just saying, but just going off of that, we already see how they saying that basically the DOJ or Biden administration sent out some letters telling the media to stick to the narrative. Oh, there's no evidence. There ain't no evidence.
Really?
Well,
they did that, huh?
That's what they trying to say. All the little stuff I've been seeing. But if you got a brain on your shoulders or whatnot, just like they've been saying, where is he getting all this money from?
Right.
When have you ever heard a president taking money from foreign country to have a school on Pennsylvania property, where his office was or whatnot? Biden had office that was paid for by the Chinese Communist Party, and that's basically where they said that they were. Some of them documents were coming up missing from. Some of them censored documents. They was in that little Pennsylvania, like a college office or whatnot that the Communist Party paid for. When have you ever heard of a president or somebody in American politics doing that? And it's a whole bunch of other episodes. So they saying we're...
You know what? I don't know if I can specifically name a time, but it feels like it's quite common is the problem. It feels like, okay, I thought this was par for the course, them making shady money in every which way because of their big name and the making deals and their influence and being just, I don't know. It seems, I can't say that it's,
right.
I can't say that it's any more corrupt than many of them, you know? So,
in
not that it's not,
terms,
not that it's not right. I think it is necessarily, probably not right, but whatever.
But it's like,
go ahead.
Well, in Artie Art's old liberal street terms, that's the difference between somebody selling a dime bag and then somebody selling pounds of marijuana. You see what I'm saying? The crushing that might have been going on, but it was going on at a dime bag level when you got Sleepy Creepy Joe, just like
big
I said,
dog, the big guy, the big man.
Yeah,
yeah, true.
I'm this party
Fair point.
funding that, funding that little college, not college, but the little building that's on that campus college in Pennsylvania that they funded to where that they can go into the office and get the classified documents out of that office. I mean, it's just right in front of you, and it was just never openly and up in the forefront to where you can see the corruption. They basically used to sneak and do it, but now they ain't even sneaking. They want you to see it, which means that they don't care. And
they don't.
It basically shows me that they already got their goals accomplished, so they don't care who sees what they doing because they already don't push the threshold so far that they already feel like the liberals feel like it ain't gonna never turn back around. The same as which a man Obama said. Oh, they can. We sent those jobs over. They can try to bring them back, but I bet it won't happen.
Right, but Trump was somewhat successful at bringing jobs back.
Yes,
he did the impossible.
Right.
Nice.
He did the impossible.
I appreciate it, Art. Take care, man.
I'll catch you later. Yes,
all right, bye. Artie Art, too smart. Very nice. Guys, this has been the Hake Report. Let me just double check for any last supers. I think I'm all caught up on all of them. Thank you to the D Live crew, the Buy Me a Coffee crew over on the Hake chat. There was some funny things that I wanted to touch on before I close out the show here. Oh, let's see. Those dreamers. They wanted to kick the dreamers out of here. Man, I don't know if I have time to do this. Let me just double check how long You know what? I gotta end. Guys, this has been the Hake Report. Catch American Anchor Baby at noon Pacific time today. That's 2 Central, 3 Eastern. Adios, America. Enjoy Sweatshops by Left Out from the 1999 album For the Working Class. Bye.
save you. The blood of Christ can. Fortune from misfortune. Let God be your treasure.